Welcome back to the channel, everybody. How you doing? I just want to say I appreciate you guys being here. Today we're going to do something a little different. I was sitting there thinking about this. When I made the Goosebumps video and I read a couple of Choose Your Own Adventures, I actually wanted to just talk about what happened to Choose Your Own Adventures. Sometimes when I stroll around Barnes & Noble or just other bookstores that are not used bookstores, sometimes I look through like the kids books and middle-aged stuff because I do like reading books like that, because there's a lot of books that I read as a kid that are usually there, so I try to buy them because I like to read them and revisit them, and clearly I like to make videos about it. I sat back and I was like looking, and I never really processed it until now that what happened to Choose Your Own Adventures? When I was reading Goosebumps and I had the Choose Your Own Adventure books, it was really fun with the nostalgia, the aura of just choosing my adventure of what is the outcome. There's so many different avenues you could take to see what is going to happen to you as a character with all the other characters around you. Are you gonna hurt one of them? Are you gonna be the hero? Are you gonna lose? Or just who's gonna win? And there's just so much that happens in these books for Choose Your Own Adventures that it really made me a little nostalgia that, do we even have them anymore? Like I said, I went to a couple of bookstores and I just can't find them. I don't see them anywhere. So I'm like, is it just not popular anymore? Or do they feel like, oh, kids just won't be into it? Does it not sell anymore? I just feel like when I was a child, really popular stuff constantly, I would see it everywhere. I remember when I was a kid and we had the Scholastic bookstore thing, and they would have Goosebumps clearly everywhere, and then you would have a bunch of Choose Your Own Adventures. So it made me think about what happened to them. And I thought about looking into it more, but I kind of just want to talk about it and just assume that it's just not popular. And it could be one of those things that just grew in popularity, and now it's just like, it was like a balloon and just popped. So now that popularity has died down a lot and it's just not there anymore. And who knows, with like the generations of kids now that are, 8 years old, 7 years old, 9 years old, that would probably read the Choose Your Own Adventures, maybe it's just not popular anymore and kids just don't gravitate towards it, which could be the issue. And I mean, there's a lot of things why kids are probably just not reading anymore in general. I plan on making a video about that in the future, and I cannot wait. With Choose Your Own Adventure, I just don't see why it wouldn't be fun, and the appeal of it is just so cool that I just sit there, I'm like, why would you like not do this? I feel like this is such an appealing thing for your audience, for young kids to read, and it really flows with their imagination. And my other thought is, what if the people that are writing them just don't know how to, maybe they just don't know how to write Choose Your Own Adventure compared to what people were doing back in the 90s and the early 2000s. I mean, it's a huge generational gap now that there's people like my age and probably older that are writing these things. So what if they don't want to write these? And then that's the thing, I don't even know what kids books are anymore. So maybe kid authors, like these authors that write for children, just feel like, I don't really want to write that. And when I do see a lot of like the kids section of books, it's still a lot of books that I read when I was younger that I don't know, it's interesting to me that I just always thought Choose Your Own Adventure would still be a really popular thing. Same thing with like Captain Underpants. If you know, you know. So I just thought Choose Your Own Adventure would still be pretty popular, and it's kind of weird that it's not. So me as an adult, when I have my own kids, I hope, for one, I'm going to really push them to read. I really think reading is super important, and I feel like we're in a time where reading is just almost dying out. Like, people literally just can't read. That's a video for the future. I really am going to push really hard to get my kids into reading, and maybe they might like Choose Your Own Adventures because it is really fun to read and you don't actually know what's going to happen. There's so many different avenues of how the story will end. I just was sitting there thinking about that, and I just want to talk about it for a couple minutes because it is weird to think like Choose Your Own Adventure was really popular. I just feel like when I was a kid and reading was a lot different than how it is now, Choose Your Own Adventure was everywhere. Like, I just remember so many different books that says Choose Your Own Adventure, and then you would just grab like 8 of them because there were like 100 pages and you just breeze through them because Choose Your Own Adventure was really cool. And now we just don't have that. There's just a lot of things that when I was growing up that we just don't have anymore, and it's kind of depressing in a way. If you guys made it to the end of the video, I do appreciate it. What do you guys think about Choose Your Own Adventures? Do you guys think they died, or do you think it's just maybe my bookstores that are just not selling them and they're still really popular? If there's any parents that watch my videos, let me know down below if your kids read Choose Your Own Adventures, or do you guys just not see Choose Your Own Adventures at all either? It just seems like I don't really see them unless they're at used bookstores is when I see Choose Your Own Adventures. So it just seems weird that they just don't get sold. Maybe they're just not popular anymore. Who knows? And then last but not least, make sure you guys stay safe, stay humble, and tell someone you love them. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay weird.